Hey everybody, welcome to the Playing with Power podcast, the issue-by-issue retrospective on Nintendo Power Magazine. I am your host Ben, and with me as always is my co-host Mike.
Hey.
And we're digging into the issue 83 from April of 1996, which for some reason features Earthworm Jim 2 in the cover, even though we've already reviewed it. It's a feature game. I guess they're going over codes and secrets, all the dirt. Before we get into the
year.
Yes, it is a slow year. Before we get into the episode, I thought I should probably mention that we have been playing with, and now I think it's official. Every time we record this season, we are actually doing it live on Facebook. Ooh. So if you want to engage with us as we record the issue, you can join us on Thursdays around 11 to 12 starting time Eastern. That would be on the East Coast of the United States for all of you global listeners out there. That's kind of when we start, and it takes about 2.5, 3 hours sometimes to get through. And there's a little chat thing. You can message us, and we'll respond live. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Right, Mike? While we're plugging stuff, let's get the plugs out of the way. Mike, tell us about the scoop you got.
On the graveyard shift, we have got quite a treat for you. Me and Sheldon got to hang out with far more time than we ever thought we ever deserved, having a conversation with the head of Trauma Entertainment, Lloyd Kaufman, the creator, director, and mascot for the Toxic Avenger, Trauma's War, so many amazing independent movies. He gave us so much time, and it's like, check out the Graveyard Shift. The episode 44 will be the number. That's the Lloyd Kaufman interview.
And we'll be sure to cross post that on the Playing with Power Facebook page as well, of course.
Do you have any particular experience with Trauma films?
Oh yeah, I watched Toxic Avenger. I've seen Citizen Toxie, of course, and that one's got a really interesting beginning scene with like the guys that take a school somewhat like hostage, but they're all wearing like diapers.
Yeah, the diaper mafia.
Yeah, the diaper mafia.
And they take over the retard class, which is what they actually call it. And they have like one scene where one of the diaper mafia women beat one of the retard girls senseless with her own tits.
Lovely.
So,
remember those?
It's one of those movies.
I've seen a couple. I mean, I've seen a few other Trauma films, but I couldn't tell you which ones were just produced by Trauma and which ones were actually made by Trauma.
Yeah, because Cannibal, the Trey Parker movie, that was distributed by Trauma.
Right. I'm obviously a fan of that one. And I assume you asked him my questions, so I'll look forward to hearing them in the episode. Don't spoil it for me now.
I've completely forgotten what your question was, so hopefully I got to it.
Oh, God damn you.
I gave Sheldon a list, and then I got it back from him, so hopefully it's in there. I've long since forgotten it.
Well, maybe he answered anyways. You never know.
If not, then when we if we ever head to New York to the set of Trauma Studios, you just remind me, and I'll bring it up then.
Oh, and I don't know if you ever saw the Trey Parker, Matt Stone film Orgasmo.
I never saw it. Heard of it.
Well, Lloyd Kaufman's in it. So he's actually in it at the very end. He plays the doctor who inspects the bad guy at the end. And
he's also in Guardians with James Gunn.
Is he in Guardians?
Yes, when they show when they show the prison in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's the guy in the crowd on the upper level, like when he's like shaking the bars and like, oh, fresh meat. He's right there, front and center.
Oh, I guess I missed him. Oh well. Anyways, he's a classic B movie director and personality in the B movie trade, so it's right up my alley. So anyways. Hopefully you all should check that out. And how can they find your fine podcast, your other podcast, Mike?
That's the Graveyard Shift Horror with Sheldon and Mike. Not to be confused with the Graveyard Shift, the Evangelical podcast. I don't know why they chose that name, but you know what? Keep bothering them. Tell them, oh, I thought you lived up to your name. And then, just make them feel really bad. And you can also check out Technobabble on the Geek Fallout Productions Facebook page and podcast feed, available on iTunes and Stitcher. And that's the revival of my very first podcast, where we talk about technology, science, positive news that's happening. It's just like a big mishmash of current events discussed by two idiots.
The cherry popper, as it were.
Oh yeah, we're currently airing the old archive just for new listeners so that they get everything in the proper order. Mm-hmm. Then we'll be producing new episodes, so you'll get to hear what I sounded like with a substandard microphone and no professional supervision.
There's a difference?
Well, when I say professional, I mean audio professional.
Oh, I got you.
Nobody really cared about sound levels or matching anything. It was just, we're going to record it and maybe throw a thing in, and that's that.
I was going to say, since when did we get professionally supervised here? And if anyone wants to find out more about me and I have a side project. I have a solo project podcast called Repeat One, all one word. And that is a music podcast. It's short form. It's about songs you can play on loop and the stories behind them. So you can go to repeat1.podbean.com or facebook.com/repeat1podcast and find it there. And without further ado, I think we should dig into the issue here at hand.
Yeah, we get to see Earthworm Jim on a Jim wheel, which is a tricycle.
Yeah, it's like what are those things? With the big wheels. Yeah, it's like big wheels.
Except they don't seem particularly big.
Well, I mean, they're small by comparison to Jim, but that's what the product was called, was big wheels. But anyways, we got Jim on one of them. He's got his Jim wheel, and then that's Psychro on the other one. And I can't see what his is called.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay.
I don't know what it means, but that's exactly what I'm looking at. Thanks, Ed.
And they're racing each other, and I like Jim's look on his face. He looks very serious. He's got a tongue hanging out, and they're both racing on these ridiculously small tricycles, and which apparently have headlights. And it's a nice illustration. So, decent cover. Don't know why it's on the cover of the magazine, though. But as Mike said, it's a slow year. It's a slow year until they get to the N64. And speaking of which, in a tiny postage stamp corner of the cover here, we see a preview for Shadows of the Empire, which is coming soon.
Yep, and we get to see the clan trooper.
Make the Empire great again. All right. Let's dig in here. I'm going to skip past the disgusting nail clipping advertisement that we've seen for many months now.
If you don't see anybody standing tall and proud for the Imperial flag, get that son of a bitch rebel off the field.
Yeah. Okay, so what we have here in the table of contents, we've got codes, cows, and the complete scoop on Earthworm Jim 2. So even though they already featured it in a previous issue, they are now going to feature it again. It says,
could have made it about Chrono Trigger, a great game, but no.
But no, we're going to review tips and tricks for Earthworm Jim 2. And we have a drawing here of Evil the Cat throwing salt onto a snail. And he's saying, escargot, escar went.
Wah, wah.
Which is not a terribly good joke at all. And then we've got full coverage this episode for Power Pigs of the Dark Age, the Smurfs, and then for Game Boy, see, I told you it was slim pickings here, Kirby's Block Ball, Pocahontas College Slam, and then we're getting into some reviews. So they're going to feature, why not, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. And then they've got special features about Shadows of the Empire for N64, Killer Instinct 2 for arcade, and then they have a password special apparently. And And then later on, they go over more detail into Super Mario RPG, Tactics Ogre, which is for Super Nintendo, and more. So let's dig in here to the Player's Pulse, which is our mailbag section.
And boy, do we get a treat.
Yeah.
We get to see some lovely Ayla from Chrono Trigger standing in her loincloth, holding her club, looking at you like an old pinup girl. Like, ready for snoo-snoo?
Yeah. Why don't you go through the whole art since it's strewn about on both pages here. Go through it all here, and then we'll get back to the letters.
Well, we get to see a very dark green Yoshi. Like, I think he's from, like, the Hood Yoshi. He is just, like ready to huck an egg at a piranha plant that's drooling. So that's pretty darn neat. The artwork, I don't know if it's, like, the best. The Chrono Trigger one is really the topper for me. But we do get to see, is it Earthworm Jim? At a block saying, way cool. And is he playing a Virtual Boy?
It's really difficult to see that drawing. I thought it was Rush from Mega Man X. But then I see the Earthworm on top of it, so...
Yeah, it looks like Earthworm Jim is leaning into a Virtual Boy saying, way cool!
I believe you.
And then we get to see Killer Instinct. Now, this is a nice pan of Fulgore, T-Hawk,
Orchid.
Skull... No, Orchid's on the other side. I was getting to her.
Oh.
We get like a skull. Yeah, a Stalfos with claws, some Buzzcut, a lizard, and an Orchid.
Jago.
And then we got Kirby.
Combo.
And then we got Kirby just like opening up his mouth, staring at the camera like, ah!
He's like sucking in the viewer.
Maybe. And then we get to see a hamster who's not too happy about it.
Mm.
And then on the next page, we got some more Super Mario World 2 art. And this is really neat. It's got basically all the characters, all the bosses on it. All on one stuff. We got like the Big Koopa, the Big Boo, all the other things I can't remember. And then we get to see Kirby's Dreamland with pencil crayon. It's very nice. And then we got Derpy Kong playing with some Koopas in a barrel and a snake and a big thuggy Koopa. And then we got Killer Instinct 2, Yoshi's Island, where we got Baby Fulgore riding Yoshi.
Yes.
And Yoshi's got this Garfield-like malaise about him, saying, the stork will pay for this. And then we top it off with some also Derpy Mega Man, who looks like he's like telling the cloud to talk to the hand. Like, I don't know what that cloud did to piss him off, but he ain't having it. Mm-hmm. And he's giving like a goofy bucktooth smile to the camera. I mean, like, Rush is like the most well-drawn, competent-looking thing here. But yeah, Yoshi, Killer Instinct, Yoshi's Island. That would be a game.
That's pretty good.
Whenever you get the baby knocked off, instead of like trying to collect him, you're trying to save him from the enemies, or you're trying to save the enemies from him.
So the first letter is from someone named Vamushka via something called America Online, and the title of the letter says "Render unto Vamushka." And they say, I like the new design of Nintendo Power a lot. It seems less childish than before. As for the look of Arena, the Battle Zone is a pretty cool idea, but overall look of Arena seems too gray and sterile and flat or something. Which brings me to the entire mag. The rendered graphics are nice, but sometimes I think there's too many of them. They end up looking, as I said, flat and sterile. Classified information is, well, it just doesn't seem right without the manila envelope colored pages. All the other aspects of the magazine are great. Also, I noticed in January's bonus issue, which was very nice, in the background of the Player's Pulse, there were drawings of Earthbound that looked like they were drawn by the same guy who did one of the pieces of envelope art. Did you guys take that guy's drawings and use them as the background? And they said, yes, the background art was drawn by Furquin Root, who also contributed a nice piece of envelope art to our Volume 80 gallery. So that's someone with a really good eye for art styles, apparently.
I don't know, with a name like Vamushka sounds like a Russian troll to me.
Put out the sanctions.
Back to the Future. First of all, I would like to say I love your magazine and read it all of the time. The bonus issue and the Nintendo 64 video I got were really cool. Concerning the questions you asked us readers in Volume 80, I have to say I very much like the changes. Ever since I've been reading Nintendo Power, which has been since Volume 1, I like the way things were set up and I found the information, tips, and reviews very informative. Then in Volume 68, you changed the way the magazine looked, and for the most part, I really didn't like it. No, sir, I didn't like it. However, in Volume 80, you changed it again, and I have to honestly say I do like it. From the addition of one page to Player's Pulse to the redesigned classified information, everything is designed to look very, very cool. I have to say this magazine now really rocks. And that praise came from Nate Douglas of Hard On, Montana.
And then we have Catherine Smith from Fort Braggadocio, California. And it says, better letters. I think it's great that you've expanded the Player's Pulse section. I enjoy reading about what other players have done or are doing. And I have found that they have wonderful ideas and opinions. Keep it up. Well, that's a swell.
Well, this one shares my opinion. A plain brown envelope, please. About the changes in Volume 80, you've really crammed in the goods. But I have to talk about classified information. You gotta change it back. That manila folder style is a tradition. Yep, I agree with this guy. And you probably already know about it, but please don't cut off the captions below the pictures in Counselor's Corner in the middle of a sentence again, okay? Your Player's Pulse is bigger, good. Your Epic Center is smaller, bad. And your arena has changed again, neutral. The good, the bad, and the neutral. Mm-hmm. Other comments, I like those passwords. More, I love your cover. It looks like another great year. Keep it up. From John Pajak from Kenosha, Wisconsin.
And they responded saying the Epic Center varies in size from month to month, John. We squeezed it down to 9 pages in Volume 80 to make room for the news from Mr. Shinkai, but pumped it back up to 13 pages in this issue. And then Joel Stroop from Lincolnton, North Carolina, says, an ad-free environment. I love the Power charts and Take-Two reviews. I also love the fact that Nintendo Power is a clean magazine without any dirty advertisements. Have you seen the nail clippings? Thanks for such a great magazine.
Yeah, Lincolnton. Wow, what a weird name. I came, I saw, I con. I'm writing to... Well, that sounds like a letter from John. I'm writing to you on what I think of your new setup. I think your contents page is way better than the old one. Of course, the Player's Pulse is better. I like the old power charts better than the new ones. Your new classified information is superior to the old one. Oh my god, can't this country come together? I am glad Counselor's Corner is still the same. I like your new arena, but it's too flashy. The new icons and now playing are awesome. Packwatch is always cool. Send my regards to Mario. By Rick Ross from Mount Union, Pennsylvania.
Mount Onion, I believe. All right, from, let's see here. Painting from Mario Paint. For the most part, the changes you've made have been good, but some things should remain sacred. For instance, you've changed the border of classified information. It's practically unrecognizable. And every time you change the contents page, it gets harder to read. Hey, why don't you guys add a Mario Paint artwork section like you have an envelope art section? From Kenny Parduce from Pineville, Louisiana. Mario, and they responded, Mario painters out there, listen up. Send in your masterpieces and we'll run the best.
You mean from Painville, Louisiana. They're all a bunch of roided up Cajuns.
Yes, from Painel, Louisiana.
So, no humor for rumor. Wow, what a weird. I am 13, and I like the pictures of cake Game Boys. Okay, you're starting to redeem yourself. I myself once sent in a pic of an R-Wing made of Legos.
Oh, dope, son.
Oh, man, how do you manage all those ankles? Mm-hmm. I also like the layout. It's easy to find such things, and there isn't too much gibberish. Oh, he ain't having that jibber-jabber. Just what people want. And please, no more rumors. I once looked in EGM, a premier rumor mag. Oh, man. And they had everything wrong. They even put in the Japanese name of the Mega Man X bosses.
Shots fired.
Fake game coverage. From PJ Speed Reed via AOL.
Take a hint, please. The new Nintendo Power page setups are rocking with all the new artwork and the new layouts for the regular sections. The only problem that I have is that the articles about the games have gone from the first grade level, where you told everything in great detail, to Super Pro status, where there was a lot about the game's graphics and sound, but not a lot of gameplay hints. Don't get me wrong, I like the fact that the articles are not geared to make me feel like an idiot, but at points in the game, I like to know a bit more about where I am than what's provided by a scaled-down map and a couple of words. From Mike Finkelstein from Gravyville, Illinois.
I thought you were going to say Gayville.
Gay!
You got classy classified information. Really? You could have just called it classy with a hyphen and fied, but I guess there's no accounting for punnery. The changes you've made to the 96 Nintendo Power.
The old Nintendo Power, when it was great again, would have done puns.
The best puns.
The best puns.
People came around saying, "Hey, you know who's got great puns? Nintendo Power."
The old Nintendo Power. Let's make Nintendo Power great again.
Yeah, the changes you've made to the 96 Nintendo Power are great. I really like how you've made it look so computerized for the classified information. And the arena looks totally cool. Pack Watch is cool too. I also got a kick out of the Earthworm Jim game because of the bonus in the back of the bonus issue. Oh yeah, that little cutout game that you have. Mm-hmm. Overall, it's great. Thanks, I had to get that out. By Terry Starnes of Orlando, California, Florida.
Florida. You know, he does that song.
Orlando Fluoride.
Shorty got low, 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 low.
About them apple bottom jeans and the boots. Jeans.
Yeah, we have a snowman, that Frosty the Snowman, that you squeeze his hand and he sings the song and dances to it.
Wait, is he saying like Shorty got cold, cold, cold?
No, it's just a clip of the song. I wish it was a version. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They cut it off before the whole give that big booty a smack piece. Thank goodness. Otherwise, I have my kids walking around singing that.
Well, when they get a little bit older, you can just swap out that circuit board, do a little programming, and there you go.
Yeah, we'll get rid on that one. All right.
So tell us about
the loyal opposition. I have been a loyal buyer and subscriber of Nintendo Power since its birth, and would like to give you a few comments in your magazine. About to call us baby ugly. Okay. I've always respected you guys, but I do have a few concerns about Nintendo Power. I saw that you printed a letter from a reader named Charles Summers in volume 81, and I agree with his point. You seem to only print letters that are short and say something to the effect of, "Your magazine rules. Virtual Boy is great. I love your mag." Personally, I find these letters annoying. I like long letters that address some serious points, whether it complements your magazine or not. Does this help you? Anyways, I hope you listen to your readers, as they are the ones with the best suggestions for your magazine. I doubt that you will print this letter, since letters like these are the ones I would like to see printed into Nintendo Power, but don't. From Jonathan Ratface, Liberty, Missouri.
Oh, yeah. And
since that carried over, let's continue with the rest of the letters, and we'll come back to the power charts.
Yeah, and we get to see a picture from the Great Wall of China with, it looks like one of the locals, but no, he's from California. Oh, God. And we got a letter, "Seeing through the smokescreen. All of the so-called greatest video games, companies, systems, and magazines on Earth are trying hard to make you look like a slow, lazy company. I know it's all an overdriven, hyped out of this world smokescreen. God, this kid, wait till you get a load of 2010. For example, Sega's Victor Man has computer model graphics that are only possible on the Genesis because they're simplified down to poorly colored animation. Donkey Kong Country did computer modeled graphics first and better. Nintendo first.
Mm-hmm.
By Mitchell Glide. By Mitchell Astroglide.
By Mitchell Glade Plugin.
From Heartland, Michigan.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we have The Plot Thickens. I think that many of the storylines in RPGs are too simple. The story in Final Fantasy III was wonderful because of the complications and twists. If all games were like that, they would be perfect. From Michael Stout of Montebello, California.
Yep. Georgia Gamer goes gaga for RPGs. I love the Epic Center. I really recently started playing RPGs after I rented Final Fantasy III out of boredom and because I heard it was really good. It was so addictive I went out and bought Breath of Fire. I just completed that game and now I'm playing Illusion of Gaia, Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, oh I'm so sorry, and Final Fantasy II. All at the same time.
What?
Does this kid have 3 TVs going on in his room?
I'm like, what is he, Rain Man? How many hands does he have? Is he playing with his feet?
Anyway, thanks again for adding the Epic Center. It's a great help to us RPGers. Marla Moore, oh my god, a girl gamer. I want to go to Georgia.
They don't like your kind there.
Those highfalutin Canucks?
I was going to say the gays, but...
Oh, fuck you.
Anyways, someone named GameCoop via America Online says, chillin'. I think it's cool that you're online. That's all. Nothing more. Apparently that was worth printing.
This was like the pre-Facebook equivalent of hi, thanks for the ad.
First. Yeah, in comments kind of thing.
What is up with people that post on your timeline saying, thank you for the invitation, friend? It's like, what the fuck is up with you?
I don't get those. I think it's just you.
I don't know. One person pulled that shit. It's just someone posted on your timeline. First off, who the fuck is this?
Well,
Second, what are they doing on my wall?
You send Facebook requests to anyone and everyone, though. So it doesn't surprise me.
Well, yeah, I got shit to promote.
Well, so you obviously added a bot, and the bot went and said, thank you, friend. And as soon as you see that, you should delete them. Because they're not real.
One of them was. I was just like, who the hell are you? And then we got talking, and now we actually talk every now and then. So it's some people are just weird.
Well, then maybe find out if they're a real person or not. And then delete them if they're a bot.
Speaking of bots, Shadowbot 1. Wow, the first one. Man, if only we could have found this fucker and dealt with him. Welcome to the arena. The changes you made to arena are definitely hot. I think this is the most awesome arena yet. Is this the first time someone said hot?
No.
In a cool... So.
Using it in Nintendo Power, maybe.
I mean, this was 1996, so how many people were walking around saying, that's hot?
I don't know.
Tell us about the mega idea.
Okay, Josh Raceway via America Online says, a Mega Man game in Arena would be a good idea. I have never seen a Mega Man theme there. What a letter. Okay, it says in response, you're not the only fan who would like to see a Blue Bomber challenge, Josh. It's been a while since he's appeared. You just might see him in an upcoming challenge. And they have an illustration of Zero right below him. All right.
Yeah, with his hair and his sword slashing, he looks like a Tide Pod.
He's doing the Tide Pod challenge.
And that was given to us by the guy from America On-Ramp.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see here. So, Super NES top 5. Number 5, Chrono Trigger. Number 4, Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past. Number 3, Killer Instinct. Number 2, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. And number 1, Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest.
And then they have basketball games, but fuck that. Now Game Boy top 10. We got
so Tetris. Shocking. What do you think the first number 1 is on basketball games? without even knowing any of these things are. What do you think it's going to be?
Oh, NBA Jam probably.
Oh, shocking it is. Okay, moving
Boom
on.
shaka laka.
Game Boy top 5.
Tetris, Metroid 2, Super Mario Land 2, Donkey Kong Land, and The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, which was also number 1 last month because that game was those tits.
Yep. Virtual Boy top 5. I'm surprised they found 5 of them. Number 5, Golf. Number 4, Mario Clash. Number 3, Mario's Tennis. Number 2, Galactic Pinball. And number 1, Wario Land.
Oh my god, Red Alarm's been knocked off.
Yes, amen. I think it was a piece. Although Galactic Pinball really doesn't deserve to be number 2. It's not that good. Where's Tolero Boxer?
No, what's that other one? Waterworld.
I love how they slammed Waterworld in their own magazine.
Where's the background?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about a game that I thoroughly enjoyed. Shadows of the Empire.
So it's just a preview. We're not reviewing it this time. But let's go over what they're telling us, Mike.
Well, it says, join us now as the power penetrates the shadows of this secret project for the first time. And we get to see a programmer crunching numbers into a machine, but he's not actually doing that. He's just tapping on a keyboard. It would be fun to see actually someone cram numbers into a computer. But then we got Mark Hay Hutchinson, once programmed for the tiny Sinclair computer. Now it's SGI or bust. And he's standing next to something, holding something. Even I can't see what it is. And then we got a guy reaching into a donut box. But we got the scene from Seven. What's in the box?
Yeah, they have a 7 reference in here. That's amazing.
A developmental Nintendo controller that feeds on brainwaves and looks like Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
Well, it's funny. So they were trying to hide the controller from the user or something? I mean, they've already shown it in the issue, though. That's what's funny.
This is a developmental controller, but I mean, they do have some things that register brainwaves. I mean, you've seen those Star Wars toys that where you float a ball, right?
I wonder if for a dev kit, they shipped it with a third-party controller that wasn't the real thing.
That might be it. Otherwise, they'd be bragging about it, going, look at this thing. It's like a battering with a cock.
I bet you they shipped it with a competitor's controller.
Oh, there's a Mad Catz in the box.
Yeah, that's or something rigged up with duct tape and twine.
And then we get to see a guy that looks like Dante from Clerks staring at us saying, John Knowles creates designs by hand and on the computer. And we also talk about stages, moves, critters, and more. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you would want to read the whole thing.
No, they're showing us some of the art and some of the pre-rendered CGI. So the first page that we skipped over shows the ship of the main character. It's kind of difficult to describe. It's kind of like a starfish, I would say, with lasers blasting out of it. Then it shows some art of a grappling type hook thing, and then another gear and wrench, and then it's showing an overview of looks like what's the city in Tatooine?
Mos Eisley.
Mos Eisley spaceport there. Says it comes to life for the first time and shows the Empire, so you see the rendering there. And then they have some artwork here, which is storyboard sketches for the opening stage of Shadows of the Empire, which is the Battle of Hoth. And so you can see, it basically looks like screenshots from the movie, essentially, but it's all...
You get to see sketches of Dash Rendar in his cockpit, mm-hmm. and then zooming around a walker, and then we see a small walker going to the ground, and him just... What was that? That McElroy shuffle, or that thing that you did before, mackling?
Oh, yeah. Looks like the mackle. That's funny.
Yeah. Rendar's doing the mackle towards the door console.
It's like a half squat, not fully committed there.
Yeah, it's like
to one side.
Like if you got stuck in the middle of the I Can't Dance video.
Yeah. And it's showing us some actual screenshots, some alpha screenshots here of the Battle of Hoth. And then it's digging into sort of the next level here. Got screenshots of a stormtrooper Screenshot of Dash Rendar, and then some action shots of first-person perspective shooting at some stormtroopers, and then another shot of, I don't even remember this guy, as a robot? It looks like a sentry drone or something.
Yeah, there was a bounty hunter in this game, IG-88, but that's not him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't remember that guy from the game, so that's may not have made it to the final stage. And then I don't remember this.
Replaced him.
They have a image here which looks pre-rendered almost from Coruscant, and it says, "Ever wonder what the Imperial City of the Empire looks like? Wonder no more. The shadows grow long in Coruscant." I don't remember that being in the game. Maybe it's been a while, but. And then so it shows how they build out and render the models here. So you can see a wireframe, a stormtrooper, then a ray shaded stormtrooper, and then one with texture mapping on top of it. So it's pretty cool to see that process. And then they tell you that there's a book you can get called Shadows of the Empire. And they probably tell you that there's also a soundtrack album you can also buy. So that's what they have going on, and they'll tell us more about that when it actually comes out. So let's move on to our first featured game. Of course, everyone knows this classic. It's Power Pigs of the Dark Age, with pigs with the 2 Gs, from Titus. Don't you remember this one, Mike?
So friggin' literally not.
Right. And do you know what that might be?
Because this was probably from a TV show that actually didn't get picked up?
I have no idea about that, but it is a not great platformer.
Oh, really? With these MS Paint backgrounds and the and the intro screen that looks like it was like drawn with a crayon?
Yeah, it's not good. It uses an art style like you called it. It's like MS Paint, so no shading or anything. The animation is decent, and the action feels a bit like Aladdin with the sword. So you're jumping around using a sword, and I gotta say immediately the most annoying thing. So you control a big pig, essentially an anthropomorphic pig that has a big gut hanging out, which you see wobbling around every time you make a jump. And he's got a sword, and he's fighting like foxes and stuff. And it's supposed to be like medieval times. So it apparently is 2 players, but not simultaneous. It's like it changes off. So I think there are different characters you can play as with the second character. And the way you choose to be 2 players is you have to go into the options menu first, toggle it to players 2, and then go back to the start menu and hit start. So
rather than just plug in a controller and hit start with it.
Or like have an option that's like start 2 players or something like that, which you would think would be pretty obvious. So anyways, the most annoying thing about this game is the sound effect that they make when you jump up. It is loud and like springy, and you do it constantly because it's a platforming game. You're jumping, and it is so annoying. It's just awful.
So it punishes you for doing what you have to do.
Yes. So I played through most of the first level, and it's just like these sort of medieval-looking high-rise downtown buildings, which you can see here on pages 18 and 19. And different times you have to climb to the top of them to get over. And other times you can walk right in front of the buildings. So it was really unclear what path you were supposed to take. And like one-ups and power-ups are presented as donuts and donut holes for some reason. So I don't know if this is just like calling out cops or something. I don't know. So I didn't get to the end of the level. It was boring and not fun. So that's my take on it. I think we should review the artwork for the rest of this. And, of course, some of the moves. So the first move they can do is a butt slam. Because why not? And then a spin jump.
When you're a huge fat ass. Of course, you got to use your posterior as a weapon.
Yes, and I like the name of the second level here. It's called West Blowhole Forest. Classy. And the boss on that level is Puff the Black Magic Dragon.
That's cool. But it doesn't look like a black dragon at all. It looks like a wood dragon.
I don't know.
Like a creature of the forest.
Yeah. Actually, his name is Bruno. They just called it that in an article here. And then on page 20, we've got a picture of the girl pig.
We got screenshots here, random shots of like a pig dressed up like Robin Hood in a bar with no bartender. And apparently the only thing on tap is boxes of donuts. Plain donuts. This is like the most depressing Tim Hortons.
Yeah. It's not good.
And then we got, I guess, like the girl pig, who is firing a crossbow, firing donuts.
Yep. And she's looking down at the crossbow instead of wherever she's supposed to be shooting this donut at.
Well, like she's trying to figure it out.
I guess. Or she's like contemplating, how do I get this to shoot directly into my mouth?
Yeah, why are we firing food? Is it food or is it weapons?
I don't know. I think they're confused.
Exactly. That's what she's like. She's like, wait a second. Do we eat arrows and fire donuts? What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. That whole level of stage 3 is like a donut shop, apparently. And they have deep fryers and everything.
It is the most convoluted donut shop where all the deep fryers are on the 3rd floor.
Yeah. That doesn't make any sense. This whole thing doesn't make any sense. It's just like someone had a bad dream about... They ate bacon and donuts before they went to bed. Like a bacon maple donut, but right before bed. Had a dream about it.
They were watching Robin Hood.
And watching Robin Hood. And then they woke up the next day and they're like, oh my god, I got a brilliant idea for a game. James, write this down.
Donuts are everything. They're ammunition, they're money, they're food.
Johnson, put this together into a game. I've got the ticket. This will beat out those punks, biker mice from Mars. We'll have power pigs of the Dark Age.
And those Ninja Turtles, time to knock them back into the sewer.
Right. What we need is pigs eating donuts in the Dark Ages. That's what's going to sell. It's got a hit to you. A hit. But yep. Sir, everyone's talking about 3D graphics now. It's 1996. Fuck that. We're going with MS Paint graphics and pigs.
Yeah, it turns out you can make pictures with computers now. You don't have to take a picture of them with a camera. You can make them in the computer. Look at them. Doesn't this look like a big donut factory to you? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, then they have more donut factories.
All these inserts, like, was this a TV show? Did you ever hear about this or see anybody playing with a pig holding a sword?
I have not heard about this game before or after this issue.
This looks like some poorly underfunded TBS half-season shit.
It's just a video game. That's it.
Is it? I mean, look at these inserts. This looks like it was a TV show as well. It was more than a game.
I don't know.
And then we got the...
They did not make a cartoon, so if they wanted to, they did not. The game did not sell it enough to get a game made of it.
Maybe it was like a pilot that got passed around, and even Pizza Hut's just like, fuck, we're not even going to hand those out.
I'm sure they just, for the graphics, so they probably just hired an illustrator, like a cartoon illustrator, to draw it up. So these are all the original cell shadings they used to make the game. That's the ticket, see? All right, and then apparently you can see the bad guy here on page 23, and it is, shockingly, his name is called Wolf with 2 F's, and it's Wizard with 2 Z's, Wizard the Wolf, or Wizard of Wolf, and it's literally just a white wolf with red eyes wearing a wizard's outfit with like the stars and moons on it, like Mickey's... Mickey the Wizard, the Alchemist, whatever. The assistant, magician's assistant. There, I got
GamePro loved this game. They loved the cartoon-style graphics, the humorous sound effects, and the fast-paced music, though he acknowledged that it lacked the sophistication of more recent platform games. And Allgame gave a score of 3 out of 5, both offering praise for the graphics.
Like I said, the animation was smooth. It's sort of like Aladdin. But not the drawings. I don't like the drawing style, personally.
So next is Killer Instinct. Do we have any more to say about this?
Killer Instinct 2. Again. So this is probably the third month they talked about this game, and it's still not out for any consoles or home systems. It's all the arcade games still, so clearly looking for filler. They're giving us moves for Saberwolf, Tusk, TJ Combo, Maya, Kim Woo, and isn't there a character named Wendy Woo?
I'm liking Saberwolf. If you look, his first attack on the second line is basically like Fap, fuck, Mike.
That's like your perfect Friday night.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I do to recover from doing this show.
Skip forward to page 30 here, and we have an interesting shot of Ken Lobb, Development and Evaluation Manager, who we've seen in the Donkey Kong Country Exposed video. And he's got his hands out there touching the knobs of the arcade cabinet, and we have Kim Woo spread-legged shooting right out of the screen in his face.
yeah, she's using her spread eagle attack.
Yeah. He looks really into it. I'll say that much. And then we have Jago, Glacius, and apparently Orchid has a first name now. It's just B. They don't have she didn't have a real name. It's just the letter B.
Wasn't it Black Orchid?
Borkid?
Wouldn't it be Black Orchid because her hair's black?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't know she had a first name until now.
Maybe it stands for boobs. Who knows?
There it is. Big old titties. Orchid. And Spinal. Spinal is the name of the skeleton. And then we have Fulgore at the end with his flowing locks for some reason, even though he's supposed to be like a robot, right?
Yeah.
Why would a robot have a ponytail? And riddle me this.
Hey, fuck. Yeah, you want to ask that question? Why don't you ask it to Zero?
If he had like exhaust coming out that sort of resembled hair, I could buy that maybe.
Yeah, flame exhaust. That would be awesome.
At least Zero has like a human-like face, so you can kind of buy it. But Fulgore, I mean, it's basically just like, what's those guys from...
Battle Armor from Fallout.
No, I was going to say... oh gosh, what's that 70s sci-fi TV show?
Babylon 5?
No.
He's a Cylon.
Yeah, he's a Cylon. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he looks like a Cylon. So Cylon with Wolverine claws and a ponytail of red hair. So I think that's where they got the design.
And at the bottom, it looks like Thunderhawk is rocking a boombox on page 35.
Is he? Where are you seeing this?
Doesn't it look like... On the bottom of page 35, right under Fulgore, you get to see Thunder T-Hawk, and it looks like he's holding like a boombox over his head.
Oh, that's not T-Hawk. That's TJ Combo.
Oh, right. A different Indian
Combo.
knockoff.
No, that's the boxer.
Well, it still looks like he's doing the scene from Say Anything.
Yes, it does. No, he has the whole arcade cabinet over his head.
Well,
that's what it is.
That's how he appeals to his girl. That's his version of In Your Eyes.
I see. Just plays the attract mode on repeat over his head.
he's just got the menu music playing on loop, and he's standing outside her yard. Come on, girl, be my player too.
Yeah,
you know it.
There you go.
In your eyes. Yeah, Fulgore is the backing man. In your eyes, the light, the dream. Your eyes of 1,000 churches. Your eyes, restitution.
Nice. All right, moving on to the next game. We have the Smurfs for Super Nintendo.
This game looks great. Like, look at the colors. It looks like you're actually playing in the cartoon. For a Super Nintendo to have this level of immersion is pretty darn good. Too bad the play controls are fucking terrible and the stages are out to get you.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Oh, I could not make it to the end of the first level. Not even. Like, you look at the first page, that's farther than I ever got.
Is it too difficult or just boring?
Yes! It is too fucking difficult. There are puddles everywhere, and apparently Smurfs are like, I don't know, they must be made out of like a magnesium because they can't handle being near water.
Wow, okay.
Like, as soon as you step in a puddle, you automatically bounce back in pain and lose a heart. You try jumping over it, and then there's these fuckers that open up their windows and throw out their, I don't know, their pissy, shitty dishwater or whatever. And you get splashed with that, and you get bounced back.
Oh, Smurf me.
And you try to, like, use the roofs. But guess what? After two houses, you run out of branches, and it's back to puddle surfing. And then when you get to the well, you see the well?
No.
Of course not. It's right over the first insert that says Rooftop Revelry. Then you get to see apparently a Smurf doing parkour. But above that, in the first world map,
Oh yeah, I see it.
you get to see a well.
I see
And
it.
as soon as you get there, that's when some cocksucker Smurf, he comes gliding in, and he swoops down and hits you and takes you out.
Nice.
You get taken out by your own kind. I don't know what the fuck you did in this town, but this town fucking hates you. Their puddles are designed to kill you. They all decide to clean out their toilets at the same time when you pass by their house.
Every Smurf for themselves. It's a Smurf eats Smurf world.
It's Smurfer. It's Anarchy Smurf.
Go Smurf yourself. I thought you did you enjoy the Smurfs growing up?
I did.
I thought you did. That's why I wanted you to play this game. How closely does I know the play control was awful and the game was not very fun. But how about the music? The music match?
Yeah,
the cartoon?
It's fine. It's one of those good licensed games where when you open up, it shows like the clouds are parting. You're up in the sky, looking down upon the Smurf village, and then you hear like dee 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 dee. And I'm like, yes. So I don't know. It's like it was made in Brussels. So I mean, if you thought Japanese people hated their customers in Brussels, it's just like, you must fight puddle. Like,
nice.
I must splash you.
In Brussels, puddle kills you.
Puddle jumps you.
There you go.
So yeah, I didn't even get to the second page of this magazine. It was friggin' terrible.
All right, so the whole goal of this game...
if I took time to figure it out and have access to save states, I may have gone to an enjoyable part. Because this game looks fun.
It does look really nice.
It looks great.
Graphics are really good. It's Capcom level graphics.
You should play it, see if it was just my autism kicking in.
No, I believe you about it. A lot of these old platformers are just not that good, But, I mean, you'd get it, and you'd be like, oh, this is just like the cartoon. You'd be happy with that, But the actual gameplay might not have been terribly good. So the whole story is the vile Gargamel, made off with 4 of your fellow Smurfs, is up to you to save them. So the first one is the village. Second one is the forest level. Then they have the bridge, which looks, if they're not like water, then that looks horrific to play that level. Then they have the dark forest, which looks exactly like the regular forest. And then we have the lake, which apparently they're just putting you over water again, just to taunt you.
Yeah, and you're facing rubber ducks, but the highlight of the lake is Azrael presenting.
Yes, and licking the lips.
Well, it's like he's waiting for Gargamel to show up with the wet Q-tip.
Lovely. And then you have a more interesting level. They finally switched it up. Instead of left to right constantly, it's more of a maze, a platformer maze, called the Fields, which is less field than it is a giant bush you need to climb through. Not Smurfettes, by the way.
Well, it was the 90s.
All right. And then, there's about 15 levels, and you finish up at Gargamel's Manor House.
I mean, are these for... I just gotta wonder, if everyone in the village is trying to fucking murder you right off the bat, are these the 4 assholes that Gargamel took, and they don't want you to succeed?
I don't
Like,
know.
you're the one guy saying, look, they're our kind, and they're like, no, they're like the shit of our kind. We don't want them back. Well, I'm gonna go get them. Don't!
Maybe. Who knows?
I just hope there's no water, because you all know that I'm Dry Smurf for a reason.
Ashy Smurf. Gotta stay
He's
classy.
like the water version of an albino. I can't be near the water. I just break out and die.
There you go. I have an allergic reaction to water.
I'm aquaphobic.
All right. Next section is the Power Players Arena. Challenge number 1 for NHL 96. Skip. Challenge number 2, Super Mario Kart. They say this is on the Star Cup circuit, and they want to see your fastest time for Choco Island 2. And then, okay, here we go. We have a quiz, Mike. You ready to have your knowledge tested?
Sure, I'm not even looking at the page.
Okay. All right. Are you a game fanatic? Do you know games inside and out? Take the following quiz and see how much you know about the favorite games of players around the world. Look for the answers in next month's issue. So, someone record these and we'll figure out later. All right, number 1. You had to find a hospital if you wanted the eggplant off your head in this NES hit.
Oh, shit. Fuck, it's not... couldn't be Dragon Warrior. I know that you had to go to hospitals to... Oh, this sounds familiar. Was it Kid Icarus?
I don't know. Will be next issue. You know what we can do instead of reading out this one and then finding the answers next time is they actually have the answers here for last month's quiz, which we apparently missed. So I can ask you those questions. We asked these already. These are the Chrono Trigger questions.
Eris Dome. I think I said that. I may have been right. I don't know what the second one was. Turning experience points into gold?
No, I don't
Inside
think
the
it was.
Black
All right,
Omen.
skip that. That was a bad idea. We're gonna go back on that. All right.
Yeah, this is fucking terrible.
Number 2. Players could shatter the glass around the rink. So let's both guess then. So you had to find a hospital if you wanted the eggplant off your head in this NES hit. I have to imagine it was like Star Tropics or something. Or Earthbound. They do that in Earthbound?
That would be an NES hit.
NES hit?
Earthbound came out on the Super Nintendo.
I don't remember there being a hospital in Kid Icarus, though.
I guess they didn't want to repeat Apothecary. Dragon Warrior. I
maybe.
don't know.
It feels like more RPG-ish type game. All right, let's move on. Players could shatter the glass around the rink in their first hockey game from EA Sports. I have no idea.
NHL something.
NHL 93. Sell fish in the market for 21 rupees in this Super NES role-playing game.
Well, I'm going to go with Zelda because what other games have rupees?
Right. I don't remember you being able to sell fish, or there being a market.
I don't remember catching fish.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Maybe it's a trick question, and it's really Link's Awakening on the Super Game Boy.
Although it says Super NES.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's a trick question.
Tricky bastards.
Well, that's my theory. Anyways, all right. This very vegetarian role-playing game features a series of rock, paper, or scissors battles.
Princess Salad?
Maybe. Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom?
Right.
I thought there was
Princess Salad Tosser.
Yeah. All right. Last one is forgive Deneb the Witch, and your reputation will suffer in the Super NES strategy game.
Deneb sounds familiar, but your reputation will suffer.
Which games have reputation in them?
A Super NES strategy game.
Is this one of those Koei things? forget the which. There's that one that's like first person view that's like point and click. You know which one I'm talking about?
There was a witch.
Where it had the weird lion with like the person's face on it.
Hmm?
The point and click adventure game that's like first person dungeon type look and feel.
There was a Super Nintendo one, I think, that had like a card game. It looked like a card game and like fuck it.
Well, that one. Whatever. Shout out which one I'm talking about. There's probably people screaming into their headphones right now.
Yeah, but we see a challenge for Yoshi's Island, and one of them is named Stephen King III. From Suquamish, Washington.
Oh, and then we have for Diddy Kong, they had a challenge last time, the Battle Zone, for top 10 fastest times to get 102% in Diddy's Kong Quest. And I just have to call out Patrick Yurchik from Globe, Arizona, because Globe is a shithole. I'm talking about that from experience. So, of course, he had the time to do that because he had to live in Globe. So, there you have it. All right.
And a guy, Manuel da Silva. Isn't he a prize fighter or a cage fighter?
I don't think so.
Anyway, Kirby's Block Ball.
Kirby's Block Ball. Hey, I played this one. Hey, do you like Breakout?
Yeah.
Do you like Kirby?
Fuck yeah.
Well, this is a game for you, my friend.
Woohoo!
It has wonderful graphics and sounds. It is traditional Kirby, and it is a Breakout in one. And you can press a button as the ball gets to you, and the ball turns into Kirby and blows away more blocks at a time. And you can continue to do that as many times as you want. And then once you beat a couple levels, you can play a mini game. And there's mini games such as air hockey, where you play against an AI opponent, and you try to get one of these balls into the opposite goal there. And they have another one called a Star Catcher game. They have what appears to look like solitaire, but is not. And something else involving the same mechanic. So it's multiple games involving the same kind of mechanic where you're sliding around a little board at the bottom that has stars on it to bounce a ball off of it. So it's a fun little game, and seems like it'd be good for, at the time, for a plane ride. Something in small doses. And this is kind of a thing that you'd see in like an app store these days. So it's not game changing, or it's not a big game by any stretch of the imagination, but it's well made for what it is. And enjoyable.
Nintendo should put out like an app for mobile phones for the Game Boy.
An app for mobile phones for the Game Boy. How does that work?
Yeah, where you could play like a Game Boy app.
A Game Boy app.
That
just
you
an
could
emulator?
play on the Game Boy games. Yeah.
Oh. No, they're never going to do that. You know who is doing that, though, is Sega. Like, they're one at a time, they're releasing their old games for free in emulation on Android and iOS. And soon to, like, the consoles, too. And it includes, like, ads with it. So you have to watch, like, an ad if you want to, like, save to the cloud kind of thing. But you can also pay, like, $2 to pay for it for life. So, pretty good deal.
Well, this game looks great. I like the border for the Super Game Boy, where you get to see King Dedede, Flaming Kirby, apparently Kirby after he ate a purple mushroom.
Yeah.
Or constipated Kirby. I don't know.
Kirby is a turd. Yes. As a
turdy.
or a meatball. Your choice. Sad meatball.
He's meatwad.
He is meatwad there.
And then Porcupine Kirby.
Mm-hmm. Kirby on what are those Pop Rocks? Yeah, he ate a packet of Pop Rocks and it's just exploding from the inside. And
Earthworm Jim too.
Hold on.
Did we talk about this?
Before we get to that, on the page 49, is that some sort of a demented the bizarro version of Pac-Man?
Oh, you mean the Angry Moon?
Yes, but it's yellow, and it has red shoes and red gloves.
Well, yeah, because he's an Angry Moon.
That's freaking Pac-Man's design.
It is. It's like Pac-Man if he was like a jigsaw puzzle.
It's Pac-Man. This is like a discarded early version of Pac-Man before he was finalized.
What if Pac-Man looked really cranky?
Yeah. What if Pac-Man looked pissed all the time?
He's like one of those short guys that's just like, hey, you want to start something? You want to start something, a big puffy palooka?
Yeah. It's interesting. All right, Earthworm Jim 2. Game we've already talked about at length. They have...
It's just codes.
Codes to skip to various levels. It's the debug mode. You can skip a stage. You can get a plasma gun. You can get a nuke gun. A nuke gun? It wipes out all the enemies on the screen. You only get one shot, but in most situations, one shot is all you need. Quiz game debug. Interesting. So it's everything that the team used to debug. Oh, I like these questions here. Sally's cues. I don't know who Sally is, but Sally's asking questions here.
Sally Mander, obviously. Look at her.
Oh, yes. How does Jim spell his first name? And it says... these are answers to the game.
Oh, I guess they're jokes, or...
These are, there's a quiz in the game, and these are all the answers to it.
How does Jim spell his first name? Jim.
C, Jim.
Oh, my God.
And then it says, may I please be... Let's switch off on these. May I please be excused to go to the bathroom?
The Industrial Revolution.
Do you know the way to San Jose?
Missile Command.
What is Doc Dudonum's favorite cheese?
It's duodenum, which is related to the pancreas.
Thank you.
Camembert.
Can Jim recite the Raven?
I don't know.
What is the capital of Assyria?
Red.
What is Princess What's-Her-Name's real name?
What's her name?
When is Jim's birthday?
December 6th, 1965. Was that the Kennedy assassination?
I don't know.
Or the day the Beatles came?
I don't know.
In what year? Oh.
Hey,
are you going to read?
Hey, Google. What happened on December 6th, 1965?
Here are some results from a search.
Let's see here. Find out below. On this day. Let's see here. Let's see here. 2 trucks crashed into a crowd of dancers in Sebatuba, Togo, killing 125 people. Probably not it. Famous birthday. Gordon Dury, Scottish footballer. Famous deaths. Alberto Vaccari, Italian Jesuit / Old Testament scholar, dies at 90. So, I guess the date...
Obviously, we have some Jesuit historians on the development team.
I think they just picked it at random. In what year was the Battle of Hastings?
1066.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck?
Less than A, more than B.
Can you rub your stomach and pat your head?
Nope.
What is the specific gravity of corn on the cob?
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. God, that's dated.
Phrase your response in the form of a question.
Yes.
Should the capital gains tax be repealed?
Yes.
What color is Jim's red gun?
Green.
Can Jim speak French?
No. And it's not even spelled no.
All right. There's more. There's more.
There is.
Can Jim speak German?
Bitte, wo ist die Toilet?
Can Jim speak Spanish?
See.
Can Jim speak Chinese?
How's it going?
Can Jim speak Farsi?
No.
Does Jim have piranha in his aquarium?
Both A and B.
Does Jim's mother approve his dates?
No, she does not.
Can Peter Puppy have a bite of your ice cream sandwich?
Over my dead body.
In a dogfight between a Spitfire and a Harrier, which plane would win?
The Harrier.
Cook some meatloaf and I'll boil some potatoes.
Why?
What is the capital of South Dakota?
Gila Bend, Arizona.
Can't confirm. What color is a marshmallow?
Carnivorous.
How long is a piece of string?
The same shape as something beige.
What? Who is the patron saint of video games?
St. Charles Chip Buddy.
How many legs has a katydid?
11.
How do you compute the area of a circle?
Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
What? Oh, these are all absurd. Oh my gosh,
It's not
there's
like,
more.
It's not like we're trying all Lestruck.
Which was more. One last one. Here we go.
Oh boy.
All right. What is the species name of the duck-billed platypus?
I actually know what that is, but it's in here in the game. It's St. Petersburg, Florida.
Who won the 1994 World Cup?
Napoleon.
How many TV sets are in the average American household?
Orange.
An average of 2.8 children.
How about if you drain the broth? How many noodles would there be?
What? Are you being served?
Chip Buddy.
What is a paradox?
I don't know. It's when Ben Casey meets Gildair.
Did you save any room for pie?
You gotta be kidding.
What is a Tar Heel?
Chip Buddy.
Who was Charlemagne?
Chip Buddy.
What Broadway musical is based on annelids?
Annie.
What is the Union Jack?
Organized labor tools for changing a flat tire.
Wow. Coal is to water as a light bulb is to?
Wet coal.
If cigarettes cause cancer, what causes Capricorn?
1.5 pounds of butter.
Oh. Will you please knock it off?
Yes.
Hey kids, what time is it?
Nick.
Can Jim speak Japanese?
Lee.
So just bizarre. All right, we're about at the halfway mark here. We have a poster in the middle here for the Olympic Summer Games with somebody I don't know. I'm guessing a hurdler. Oh, it says Mark Career, world record holder and 96 Olympic hopeful, 110-meter hurdles. So if you like that guy, there's a picture of him. And it looks like, is that a part in the middle of his head? Or do you actually have like a scar down the middle of his head? Are you seeing that?
It looks like someone just took their finger and like dragged it along his head. And like singed all of his hair.
It looks like he might have a scar there. Anyways.
No. Maybe he had like a top lobotomy or something.
All right, anyways, we're at the halfway mark here. We're going to take a break, and we'll pick it back up at page 95 with the Epic Center. And we'll start digging into the RPGs. And as always, if you'd like to find more about us, you can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/playingwithpowerpodcast. If you want to find old episodes or link to all of our stuff, you can go to our website, playingwithpowerpodcast.com. We've got links to our Patreon page. If you want to support us and help us pay for hosting or help give money to Mike, who needs a job, you could also go onto iTunes and leave us a review and help get the word out. Or if you just want to reach out to us on Twitter or YouTube, we've got all of that and more, and plus all our old episodes are on the website as well. So, without further ado, thank you all for joining us on this wonderful adventure. I'm Ben.
I'm Mike.
And now you're playing with power.
Entertainment system. Now you're playing